everyone. Welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Mike.
And I am Kiki.
And we are going on a little holiday, Kiki. It's a nice place to go if you're able to take a late summer, early fall holiday. And the best thing about this place is you can leave your passport at home. You don't have to buy airplane tickets, get to the airport, do all that stuff. You can hop on a train, a bus, or a car and be there in a few hours from anywhere in Taiwan. What am I talking about?
Well, we're talking about Hengchun.
Yes, indeed. Kending's little cousin, or big brother, or prettier sister, or friend. Yes, we're going down south to Hengchun. We're happy in Hengchun. History meets coastal cool is the title of our article. I like that because it gives you a good idea of a couple of the things you can experience, see, and enjoy in Hengchun, which is, in my mind, it's almost all the way to Kending as you're leaving Kaohsiung. It might be about an hour by car or so, but it is a cool place to go. And they have history as well.
That's one of my favorite things about Hengchun is the history and going to visit to find all the old doors, the city walls.
Oh yeah, they do. They have all the gates, which we're going to be reading about. I know there's one in the middle of the road, and every time I drive there, I always think the taxi or the bus or whoever's driving is going to smash into the gate because it kind of surprises you being in the middle of the road. But that is part of the history that we're going to check out along with the coastal cool. So let's get to the article.
With Kending's golden beaches as next-door neighbors, Hengchun is often overlooked by busy travelers. However, this southern town is worth your time, and here's why. The town's most impressive feature is its old city walls that were built in the 1870s. Most of the structure, including all 4 of the old gates, remains to this day.
All right, happy in Hengchun. That is our article, History Meets Coastal Cool. So let's check it out.
All right. With Kending's golden beaches as next-door neighbors, Hengchun is often overlooked by busy travelers. Yeah, that's true. A lot of times people say, oh, I'm going down to Kending. And they kind of reference the whole area as being Kending. But actually, Hengchun is a very fun place to visit.
That's a really good point. I think I must have been to Kending around 10 times or so, but Hengchun maybe only 3 or 4 times, because you're right. You usually drive through it, maybe stop at a 7-Eleven or stop for lunch, but then continue on to Kending. So this is a good reason to read our article and maybe end your trip a little early next time. Don't go all the way to Kending. Spend some time in Hengchun. It would be an interesting place for travelers to experience.
Well, what a traveler is a person that is going on a trip and visiting all these different places. So
They're traveling.
They're traveling. They're not from this place, and they are visiting this place.
Good point.
Yeah, so for example, a traveler asked me for directions.
Okay, now of course, if you're in a car, on a bus going to work or school, you are traveling to work or traveling to school. But you're right, generally you're away from your home, you may be in another country. You could be a business traveler, right? Going off to do a job for your company in another country, or you could be a pleasure traveler or a tourist, right? Just going around looking at different parts of the world because they are interesting, places like Hengchun. However, the article says this southern town is worth your time, and here's why. So yes, a lot of people might just travel through Hengchun, stop there briefly on their way somewhere else, but the town is worth your time. That's another way of saying it's worth a longer stay. Don't just travel through or stay for a few hours, maybe spend a weekend there, a few days. So we're going to tell you why you want to do that and a bunch of fun things that you can do while you're there. But first, we must go over to our friend Hanny. Hanny from Hengchun. She's not from there, is she? No.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次要介绍的旅游地点是恒春。那么标题写到 Coastal Cool， 海滩的酷，它指的是一种轻松、悠闲、令人放松的感觉或风格，是口语用法。那么 Coastal 这个形容词可以形容沿海的或是海岸的。那课文一开始提到说，由于跟拥有金色沙滩的垦丁为邻，恒春经常被匆忙的旅人忽略了。不过这一座南方小镇很值得你驻足停留。Traveler 这个字就表示旅人、旅客或是游客。那这边还有2个重点，第一个是句型 with 名词逗号主词加动词，它表示由于怎么样有了什么什么。with 加名词可以用来表达原因或条件，去表达由于什么或凭借着什么，像是 With Michael on our team, there's no way we can lose. 有 Michael 在我们这一队，我们不可能会输的。那第2个重点是 worth 的用法。首先，它可以表达值得什么的或值得做什么的，用法是 be worth 加名词或动名词。例如 The TV show is worth watching， 就是说那个电视节目值得一看。那第2个意思，它可以表达价值多少钱，这时候用法是 be worth 加金额。例如 The car is worth $5,000， 那辆车价值$5000。好，那接着回到课文里面来听听看恒春值得造访的原因。
Okay, we are back. So let's learn about some of the interesting things you can see and do in Hengchun. We started off by saying it's history and coastal cool, right? So let's get into that history of this town in southern Taiwan.
All right. The town's most impressive feature is its old city walls that were built in the 1870s.
Wow, I love some old city walls.
Me
you know
too.
me? That's what people say about me. You know that Mike, he loves old city walls and old churches, old castles. I don't love them, but they're interesting, right? It's interesting seeing something that is still there after hundreds of years. And we're talking about some old city walls. I mean, these aren't like 1990s walls. No, they're 1870s walls.
And you know, you can actually climb on top of it and then walk along.
It's not something so special you can't even get close and touch it. You can actually go on the wall.
Go on the wall. You can touch the wall. You can sit there there's nobody there. You can just enjoy an afternoon there even.
Very cool.
I love it.
It's kind of a time machine. You can feel what the city was like way back in 1870. It says most of the structure, that's the walls around the city, most of the structure, including all 4 of the old gates, remains to this day. So nothing has come along, an earthquake or a storm or just damage from people building new things. Nothing has come along to take this wall down. The old gates, all 4 of them, I think they used to have like north, south, east, west, right?
They do, yeah.
All 4 of those gates remain to this day. Now, the structure that we're talking about here is a wall and the gates in the wall, but a structure really is just another way of saying a building. But structure covers things that aren't buildings because a wall isn't really a building, but it's a structure. And of course, houses, offices, skyscrapers, apartments, schools, hospitals, airports, even small little things, big things, castles, museums, bridges. These are also structures. Yes, a tower can be a structure. Even just one of those big metal things by the side of the road that sends cell signals or radio signals, that's a structure too. As long as it is not naturally grown or anything made by people, of course, will definitely be called a structure of some kind. We saw a strange structure in the forest. Maybe it was just a tiny little wooden cabin.
Oh. And it's really impressive that the old city wall still remain in this around
150 years old.
Yeah. So when something remains, it's something that has not disappeared. It stayed there. You know, you have kept something there. And in this case, we're talking about the wall not being torn down. It stays there. It's still there.
Very cool. While other things have gone away, this one has not.
Right. So an example would be, few trees remain after the strong typhoon.
Ooh, I guess the typhoon knocked down most of the trees. Only a few are still standing or remain. Let's go over to Henny, and then we will be back.
恒春这个小镇最令人印象深刻的特色是它建于1870年代的古城墙，那大部分的结构体，包括4座古城门，依然保存到现在。好，来看单字 structure。structure 这个名词表示结构体、结构或构造。remain 它是动词，则表示留存或是剩下，它还有保持、继续的意思。那我们接着回到课文中。
Okay, guys, now it's time to check out the second part of the article. So let's check that out now, and then we'll come back to talk about it.
When I visited, I enjoyed walking around the town on top of the walls. During my walk, I saw Guanyin Temple's gods in their rock cave and the old Lianfu brick kiln. I also spotted the poles that are used for Hengchun's Changgu competition, an exciting event that takes place during Ghost Month each year. Inside the walls, Hengchun Old Street is a popular place for visitors to experience the best of Hengchun's culture. This small street is full of stores that sell onion-related items because of Hengchun's unofficial title of Taiwan's Onion Town. You'll also find stalls that sell another local favorite, mung bean soup with shaved ice, the perfect sweet treat to beat the heat.
We are back. So let's check out some other cool things in Hengchun. We were talking about the really, really old walls that are still there. And you said you can actually walk on the walls. Mm-hmm. Let's get to that. I'm really interested in that.
Okay, well, here we're talking about, we're reading from the point of view of the author.
Oh, okay.
So the author says, when I visited, I enjoyed walking around the town on top of the walls. It's just like what I was talking about.
That's so cool. And what a great view you would have both into the town and on the other side of the walls. Mm-hmm. And where can you go along those walls?
Well, let's see. During my walk, I saw Guanyin Temple's gods in their rock cave.
Wow.
That's cool. And the old Lianfu brick kiln.
See, wow, that's interesting. I've been to Hengchun, but I've never been to either of these places. So I definitely need to go back. Then there's definitely a temple cave or a temple with gods in a cave. I have to see what that is all about because a cave is a natural opening in the side of a mountain or in the earth or something like that. Caves form over many, many years, thousands or millions of years, usually by water kind of working its way through the rocks. It eats away at some of the soft rock. It leaves the harder rock. And you have this kind of tunnel or connection of tunnels and chambers and sort of spaces inside the earth, down into the earth. And caves used to provide homes for people. They still provide homes for animals. And people love to explore. Well, some people love to explore caves. They can be very interesting. The different rocks that you see in there, the animals that live in there. But if you're going to go in a cave, make sure it's very safe. You know what you're doing and you're not bothered by being in small places because caves are often very small and tight. And here's another thing about caves. It was dark and cold inside the cave. So make sure you're dressed well and have all the safety equipment too. Back to the article. I also spotted the poles that are used for Hengchun's Changgu competition, an exciting event that takes place during Ghost Month each year. Okay, so around this time of the year, that's often when Ghost Month falls in the late summer. You can go down and check out the Changgu competition. I hope I'm saying that's right. And I don't know much about this competition, but it involves poles. Okay.
And you know what's interesting is even when the competition isn't going on, the poles are actually still in the venue, the location where they host the competition.
So if I go any time of the year, the poles will be there, but people might not be using them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really cool. So what a pole is basically some sort of long material made from wood or sometimes metal, and usually it's in a cylindrical form.
It's kind of a long tube.
Right. Yeah. And it starts from the ground, and usually inside it'll be pretty sturdy in the ground.
Stuck in the ground.
Stuck in the ground and goes all the way up. So you'll see telephone poles.
Wires at the top.
Right, light poles.
With a light at the top. Flag poles.
Flag poles with a flag on the top.
I also think of, I don't know if they do it in Taiwan, but in North America, you might find a pole in a fire station.
Oh,
right? The
that's
firemen
right.
sleep upstairs, and when they hear the ring that there's a fire, they hold on to the pole and they slide down to get quickly from one floor to the other.
Okay, an example sentence would be, a bird is sitting on the telephone pole.
Birds love to sit on a pole.
Yes,
it gives
they
them
do.
a nice, safe place to look at the world. What do they do with these poles in the Chenggu competition? Are they hitting each other with poles?
Oh, they're supposed to climb, from what I understand, they're supposed to climb up the pole.
Oh, they're climbing up the pole. That's hard.
But the poles are greased up.
They're covered in like oil and oh my God, that's impossible. I have to see this competition. All right, let's go over to Hanny.
作者提到他很享受在城墙上漫步的时光。那在漫步的途中，他看到岩洞里面的广宁宫神像，还有年代久远的莲福砖窑，以及恒春抢孤比赛所使用的柱子。先来看单字 cave，cave 它是名词，表示洞穴或山洞。pole 则表示杆或者是柱子的柱。那么 Kiki 老师在解释时有提到 cylindrical 这个字就是形容圆柱形的，还有提到 sturdy S-T-U-R-D-Y sturdy 是形容经久耐用的或是坚固的。那老师在讲到抢孤会场时有用到 venue 这个字 V-E-N-U-E venue 表示会场或是场地，然后还提到这个柱子会上油，我们学一下 grease 这个字 G-R-E-A-S-E grease 它表示油或油脂，也可以当动词来表达涂油脂的意思。好，那么课文接着提到抢孤比赛是在每年鬼月期间举行的刺激活动，那这边它用到 take place。Take place 表示发生、举行，它的主词通常会是计划或安排好的事物，必须用主动来表示。举例来说 ，The marathon will take place next Sunday。那场马拉松将于下周日举行。好，一个延伸学习是以人或主办单位当主词来表达举行、举办的话，我们会用到动词 hold 或者是 host。举例来说 ，Betty is holding a party tonight。Betty 今晚将举办一场派对。好，这回到课文中。
And we are back. So we're learning about some of the fun things that you can see and do in Hengchun. Apparently the Chenggu competition is held often during Ghost Month, and it involves climbing up a greasy pole. Okay, that sounds like definitely something tourists would love. What else can we do?
Okay, let's see. Inside the walls, Hengchun Old Street is a popular place for visitors to experience the best of Hengchun's culture.
Cool. I like old walls, old churches, old castles, and old streets.
Yeah.
So this will again give you a feeling of kind of traveling in time. It kind of looks what Hengchun looks like, 100 years ago. I guess if you go at night, they'll have lots of glowing lanterns and things like that. So that would be a wonderful way to experience the local culture. And it says this small street, remember, it's an old street.
Right.
They were often made before cars or trucks or buses, so they're often quite small. This small street is full of stores that sell onion-related items because of Hengchun's unofficial title of Taiwan's Onion Town. I guess they grow a lot of onions in the farms around there, or are we just saying that people have bad breath?
No.
Do I have to bring my own gum to Hengchun and giving gum to everyone? Because, they smell like onions. But actually, I don't mind. I like onions.
I like onions,
Yeah.
but they grow a lot of onions.
Okay, so maybe I can buy some onions and bring them home.
Yes, I
with
think
them.
they usually come in huge bags that you can just bring with you.
Maybe I'll buy a bag of onions and share it with you
Oh,
and bring it home.
thank
'Cause
you.
I don't need that many onions.
Well, what else can we
Yes,
find?
right.
You'll also find stalls that sell another local favorite, mung bean soup
Mung bean soup
with shaved ice.
with shaved ice.
The perfect sweet treat to beat the heat.
Ooh, that's a very good point. It's August, isn't it? It's going to be hot. So let's get us some mung bean soup with shaved ice. That and a nice raw onion. Delicious.
Ooh, onion ice cream.
Onion ice cream. It's getting better and better. Let's make all that and get Henny to eat it first.
作者接着介绍了恒春老街，那这条小街上满满都是在卖洋葱相关产品的商店，因为恒春它有台湾洋葱镇的称号。那也有卖另外一种当地人最爱的甜点，就是绿豆蒜冰，它是消暑的绝佳甜品。文中用 sweet treat 来表达甜点甜品，那么 treat 当名词的时候，可以表达令人愉悦享受的事物。那我们还有用到 beat the heat， 直接的翻译是击败暑气，那就是消暑的意思咯。好，这回课文中。
All right, we're back, guys. So let's review the article again. It's the end of today's look at Hengchun. We're going to have more stuff tomorrow for you, but let's review our article today, and we'll see you next time. And I will be looking up all the onion recipes I can think of. French onion soup, obviously.
Oh.
Of course.
With Kending's golden beaches as next-door neighbors, Hengchun is often overlooked by busy travelers. However, this southern town is worth your time, and here's why. The town's most impressive feature is its old city walls that were built in the 1870s. Most of the structure, including all 4 of the old gates, remains to this day. When I visited, I enjoyed walking around the town on top of the walls. During my walk, I saw Guanyin Temple's gods in their rock cave and the old Lianfu brick kiln. I also spotted the poles that are used for Hengchun's Chenggu competition, an exciting event that takes place during Ghost Month each year. Inside the walls, Hengchun Old Street is a popular place for visitors to experience the best of Hengchun's culture. This small street is full of stores that sell onion-related items because of Hengchun's unofficial title of Taiwan's Onion Town. You'll also find stalls that sell another local favorite, mung bean soup with shaved ice, the perfect sweet treat to beat the heat.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 traveler， 它是名词，表示旅人、旅客或游客。structure 名词，表示结构体、结构或构造。remain 是动词，表示留存、剩下或者是保持、继续。cave 名词是指洞穴、山洞。pole 名词，它表示干或住。那文法的部分，我们第一个学到 with 名词，逗号主词加动词，表示由于有了什么什么。其中的 with 加名词可以用来表达原因或是条件。那第二个学到 worth 的用法，它表示值得或值得做什么的，用法就是 be worth 加名词或动名词。那它也可以表达价值多少钱，这时候用法是 be worth 加金额。第三个我们学到 take place， 它表示发生、举行。这个主词通常会是计划或安排好的事物，必须用主动表达。那如果你要用人或主办单位当主词来表达举行、举办，我们就可以用到动词 hold 或者是 host。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Are you a fan of ceramics? They are objects made from clay and then are shaped and later baked in a hot oven until they become hard. Usually they are used to make things like dishes, pots, and decorative items. If you do like ceramics, there's a place in Yingge you must check out called the Yingge Ceramins Museum. The Yingge Ceramics Museum is a must-see in Yingge District in New Taipei City. It opened in 2000. The museum is known for its modern design and ceramic sculptures. The first floor introduces the key steps of ceramics and traditional skills. On the second floor, you can learn about the history of ceramics in Yingge and their uses in modern technology. The museum is working to protect Taiwan's ceramics culture. It offers classes and hands-on activities. International artists also come here to share ideas. The Yingge Ceramics Museum is a fun place to check out. I think it's very noble of the Yingge Ceramics Museum to try and preserve Taiwan's ceramics culture, and I think they deserve all our support. So next time you're in Yingge, I would totally recommend going to the Yingge Ceramics Museum. Let us help protect Taiwan's ceramics culture together.